Remember this Fortnite Zone Wars map that had thousands of players back in 2019? These days you'd be lucky if you found a full lobby. But it's not alone. More than a dozen of Fortnite's most iconic creative maps from 2019 are now completely dead. And not just Zone Wars, but edit courses, death runs, and even aim training maps. Let's start with the most popular category of them all, Zone Wars. If you were playing Fortnite in 2019, you 100% remember Downhill River by Enigma, also known as Enigma Zone Wars, released in April 2019. In this Zone Wars, you'd spawn in a box at the top of a hill, and as the round played out, the storm would force you downhill, and it was very chaotic, with people skybasing and beaming you while you were on low ground trying to rotate downhill. This map was so popular that Epic featured it as the #1 most played Zone Wars that year, even featuring it in their Zone Wars playlist that consisted of only 4 maps to choose from. Next up is probably one of the most iconic Zone Wars maps of all time, Desert Zone Wars by Jotopia, released on June 9th, 2019. In this map, you'd spawn under small houses with randomized loot, then fight across a dry, open desert city layout, and most sweaty players would rotate up to the edge of the map to third-party build fights from high ground. This map is so iconic that even the remake by Panville still averages around 700 concurrent players. Last but not least for Zone Wars, we have Coliseum Zone Wars by Jextron, released on August 2nd, 2019. Just like the name says, it took place inside a Roman arena with 16 tightly packed spawn points. This map was super fast paced and intense, with the quickest rounds on the list by far. It was also one of the first Zone Wars maps to use the new storm controller system Epic rolled out in patch note 10.0. But Zone Wars wasn't the only thing players were grinding in 2019. Box fights were just as iconic. For the first box fights map, we have Fiber's 2v2 box fights, released on September 29th, 2019. Fun fact, by the way, this was the first box fight map in Fortnite history, and it quickly became the go-to spot for wagers. If you were serious about getting better, this is where you went. This map ended up becoming the #1 most played creative map just 1 month after it was released. After Fiber's box fights blew up, it didn't take long for someone else to take over. On December 1st, 2019, Panville and Clix partnered up and released Clix box fights, and it exploded. Clix was naturally wagering on stream with thousands of viewers, which made it perfect for promotion, since he was literally playing his own map live. But later on, Panville made a replica of the map and removed all of Clix's branding so he can keep 100% of the profit. And if you didn't know, Panville's box fight maps easily make over 100 grand a month, so giving up 50% of that would be a huge loss. Even to this day, it's one of the only maps from 2019 to retain a big player base. Another major box fight map from 2019 was Box PvP by RJW, released on November 6th. This is by far the simplest on the list, just a small square box with 16 players crammed in. But despite its simplicity, it was insanely popular for its time, and since it was a free-for-all, it was arguably the best box fight map to warm up on and improve your mechanics. But over time, Box PvP's biggest strength became its biggest weakness. It was so simple that thousands of creators started making their own versions with slight twists to it, and the map got lost in a sea of copycats. The oversaturation killed it fast, and now nobody plays it. Box fights weren't the only way players were grinding to improve. Around the same time, edit courses started popping off, and one in particular quickly took over. That map was Mongrow's edit course, created by Mongrow and his team on December 22nd, 2018. It was fast and perfect for perfecting your mechanics, and he had one of the smartest approaches to marketing it. And sure, he was way ahead of players at that time when it came to building and editing, but his approach was to incentivize players. He held a competition where whoever got the fastest time before January 1st, 2019 would win 400 euros and team secret merch. That challenge quickly boosted the map's player count and popularity, and a player named Kylix ended up taking home the prize. Even after the competition was over, players kept grinding the map to beat the previous records, with tons of pros and content creators posting their best runs on YouTube. But like most maps from that era, Mongrow's edit course eventually got replaced. New edit maps started popping up with more advanced mechanics and modern techniques. Things like piece control and side peeks, where you place a cone above you, jump out the side, and crack the enemy, which caught a lot of players off guard until it became one of the most widely used techniques in the game. But there was one more type of map for players who were serious about improving, and that was aim trainers. The most popular aim training map of 2019 was easily Skavik Aim Trainer, made by Don Wozy and Raider464. It dropped in mid-2019 2019 and quickly became the go-to map for players trying to improve their aim. Whether it was tracking, flick shots, or close-range fights, this map had drills for almost every situation. For years, it was the aim training map almost every pro player recommended. You'd see players like Mongrel, Clicks, Scoped, and even casual players warming up in it. But eventually, players moved on. Once UEFN dropped, creators started making smoother, more modern aim trainers with custom UIs where you could shoot different buttons to change settings. And sadly, Skavic Aim Trainer failed to adapt. And of course, we can't talk about 2019 creative maps without mentioning death runs. The death run that started it all was Scissors Death Run. Created by Scissors himself in late 2018 and updated through 2019, players had a love-hate relationship with this map, including myself. 1 minute, everything felt easy, and the next you'd spend 30 minutes stuck on a single level, hence why it got so much engagement. Just like Mongrel did with his edit course, Scissors knew exactly how to market this map. He put up a $1,500 prize for whoever could beat it the fastest in a 2-week period. And that challenge brought in millions of views and hundreds of thousands of players. Everyone wanted a shot at winning the money. And for content creators, it was the perfect video idea. Easy to make, and it was a fast growing trend, so they were guaranteed to get good amount of views. But like most maps I've talked about in this video, it didn't last forever. The truth is, nearly all of Fortnite's biggest maps from 2019 are now completely empty. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like as it will help YouTube push it out to more people and would really help me out. Anyways, thank you for watching.